Welcome back, and here's the Bible story of the birth of Jesus. In the ancient dusty hills of Bethlehem, under a sky filled with stars that seemed to shimmer just a little brighter that night, a story began that would forever change the world. People in Bethlehem were bustling, preparing for sleep or ending their daily tasks, unaware that one of the most miraculous events in history was about to unfold right there, in their small town. Mary, a young woman from the town of Nazareth, and her husband Joseph, had traveled far to Bethlehem. The Roman Empire had issued a decree that everyone must return to their ancestral town to be counted and taxed. For Mary, heavily pregnant, the journey had been long and exhausting. With each step, she clung to her faith and to the hope that she and Joseph would find a place to stay. But the town was packed with people, and inn after inn turned them away, exhausted and beginning to feel the first pangs of labor. Mary clutched Joseph's arm, her face a mixture of pain and determination. Finally, one innkeeper took pity on them and offered them a humble stable, a place where animals slept. It was in this humble stable, surrounded by animals and the scent of fresh hay, that Mary's labor intensified. Finally, with Joseph by her side, Mary brought forth a son, a child, fragile yet full of divine mystery. They named him Jesus, as an angel had instructed. Out in the fields nearby, shepherds were tending their flocks. Suddenly, a brilliant light filled the darkness, and an angel appeared before them. When the angels departed, the world seemed to fall silent, as if waiting for the shepherds to act on the message they had received. A Savior has been born, the Messiah, the Lord, in the town of David. A Savior has been born to you. He is the Messiah, the Lord. When the shepherds heard these incredible words, the sky suddenly filled with a magnificent chorus of angels singing praises to God. The sight was beyond anything they had ever seen before, as music and light enveloped the heavens. As the angels departed, leaving a sense of stillness in the air, the shepherds felt compelled to act upon the message they had received. With hearts full of awe and wonder, the shepherds wasted no time. They hurriedly made their way to Bethlehem, descending the hills and crossing the fields, following both the angels' instructions and their own curiosity. Their footsteps echoed through the quiet town as they searched for the humble stable which cradled the newborn Savior. And there, in that simple stable, they discovered Mary, Joseph, and the child lying in the manger. Their hearts leaped with joy as they beheld the tiny face of the Messiah. Overwhelmed by the miracle before them, the shepherds knelt humbly. They knew this was no ordinary child. They shared the angel's message with Mary and Joseph, creating a holy moment filled with reverence and wonder. Mary listened attentively, cherishing each word in her heart, contemplating the incredible destiny of the precious child she had just brought into the world. Meanwhile, to the east, wise men known as the Magi were studying the heavens. A remarkable new star had appeared, and these knowledgeable scholars believed it to be a sign of a powerful new king. Driven by this belief, they embarked on a long and arduous journey, bearing gifts of gold, frankincense, and myrrh. These offerings symbolized royalty, divinity, and sacrifice. Guided by the shining star, they traversed deserts and valleys, following a luminous light that beckoned them forward. Finally, the Magi arrived and, like the shepherds, they too knelt in awe before the precious baby. Presenting their gifts at his tiny feet, they sensed that this child would grow to be a great leader, but without fully comprehending the unconventional path he would take. In that very moment, the stable transformed from a mere shelter into a sacred place, blessed by the presence of those who had come to honor the newborn king. As the night grew darker and the visitors returned to their homes, a peaceful silence fell upon Bethlehem. The stars continued to watch over the little town, with one star in particular shining brighter than ever, as if announcing to the entire world that a magnificent light had arrived. For Mary and Joseph, that night marked the beginning of an extraordinary journey filled with faith, mystery, and love. And for the world, it was a moment of great hope, a hope that would endure throughout the ages, inspiring generations to come. The birth of Jesus was not greeted with grandeur or wealth, but rather with simplicity, humility, and love. In that small stable in Bethlehem, in the presence of shepherds and wise men, the world caught its very first glimpse of a love that would eventually move mountains and transform hearts. And so the tale of the birth of Jesus began its journey, starting with the humble shepherds who witnessed this miraculous event. These simple men, tending to their flocks, under the vast celestial expanse, were chosen to be the first bearers of this wondrous news. With awe and amazement, they beheld a heavenly host of angels, resplendent in their glory, announcing the birth of a Savior in the nearby town of Bethlehem. In the darkness of that holy night, the shepherds hurriedly made their way to witness this extraordinary sight. Overwhelmed by the humble yet divine scene, they found the babe lying in a manger, just as the angels had proclaimed. Filled with joy and gratitude, the shepherds shared the news with anyone who would listen, spreading the story of this miraculous birth. Word of their encounter with the divine spread quickly, reaching the ears of kings and rulers in distant lands. These mighty rulers, intrigued by the significance of this extraordinary event, embarked on long and perilous journeys to pay homage to the newborn king, guided by a luminous star that illuminated their way. These wise and powerful kings also sought to bear gifts fit for a king: gold, frankincense, and myrrh. As they knelt before the child, the kings acknowledged the divine nature of this newborn King of Kings and shared the tale of his birth with those entrusted with their messages. From that moment on, the story began to transcend borders and boundaries, reaching the farthest corners of the earth. As travelers carried tales of this extraordinary event back to their homelands, the story of Jesus' birth continued to spread, like wildfire, igniting the hearts and minds of all who heard it. From the humble shepherds who first witnessed this miracle, to the kings who traversed great distances, this tale crossed cultures and languages, captivating the souls of people from every walk of life. It became a story of hope, love, and redemption, touching the hearts of men and women across the globe. And so to this day, the story of the birth of Jesus continues to echo through the ages, crossing boundaries and generations. It reminds us of the humble beginnings that can lead to profound greatness, and of the power of love and faith in spreading a message that can touch every corner of the earth.